Hey, come on in, grab your coffee. This is one of those conversations I didn't want to end. Once a month in the Cove, we have coffee with members who want to stop in, bring a question, bring a comment, bring a coffee, and let's just chit chat. This month, Kat pulled up a chair. She's a community builder, a working mom out of Wisconsin, and a member of the Rare Woman Collective, a leader in the Brio program there. She wakes up at 4:30 a.m. and still somehow finds time to make her own nut milk. Seriously. We talked about what actually builds belonging, whether cohorts change anything or everything, the 5-minute daily check ins that keep us on track, and what happens when the news breaks while I'm on the treadmill and my body does the work my nervous system doesn't know it needs. This is a real thing, friends. Come listen. And if you want more of this, check us out on the Cove at onevoiceevolving.com. The door is always open.
I've found my voice and my rhythm in the space, and people are excited about it, but not quite pushing the go button. And that's my failure, as because sales are not my thing. So I brought on a marketing manager, and so we're going to be doing some different things, but all roads lead to the Cove. The Substack leads to the Cove. Everything leads to there. From inside the Cove are the extra perks of working with me differently or closer or anything. That's not out in the ecosphere. That's only through the Cove membership. Okay. So I'm feeling that feels authentic, that feels in integrity and alignment. That feels like a safe space because like we were talking yesterday, my voice is becoming clearer. The world around us is changing. The illusions are being stripped away, whether you're ready or not. And we have some real shit to be talking about that can't be out there where AI can grab and go with it, or a bot can, turn it into a sideshow circus. And that's why this space that has been being created for 3 or 4 months is ready to roll at the perfect time. And so that's what we're doing now. Now everybody's got a role on my team and everybody has a part. And we're coming together this week to brainstorm, just to get all the ideas out there of how we might best do that, because the Cove is ready. My question for you: we can bring them in. We can bring people in however they come in, and they can land where they land, and they can be who they be, which is fine. Or we can bring them in 12 at a time and assign cohorts. So cohort 1 has 12 people, cohort 2. And all you have to do then is remember which cohort you were birthed into, and those people all come at the same time. So what do you think? You've been willy-nilly in it with us just as an individual person. It's almost like if you go to war, when they go over on the same ship and they come back on the same ship, they have a different kind of bond than if they're sent one at a time. Lessons from Vietnam, right? You go alone, you come home alone, you struggle alone, and you pass or fail alone.
Mm-hmm. Hard decision. I think you can make anything succeed. I am at so hear me out, because I like to look at things with multiple lenses, a,
Good.
a spectrum, and I do like to, what are the benefits, or a SWOT analysis, what's the risk, all of that stuff. But if I'm to listen to my gut right now, there's a part of me that feels like affinity groups. I'm sure some of that is because that is what I'm used to. But I feel, and then just also with being with other organizations like American Society for Training and Development, right? And I think there's value in a team. I'm leaning towards cohort A, because when you bleed together, cry together, sweat together, there's a deep, deep bond that builds belonging, so that you can then be in a bigger it creates safety, and then because you have that feeling, I think
Mhm.
you can join the rest of the cove. So maybe there's, the broader cove because you
Right.
you have a nucleus. And then I think we're trying to look for transformational relationships.
Yeah.
So safety, depth,
Mhm.
yeah, bonding, all of that. Um, because I'm also part of another organization, that
Oh yeah.
she, right? And
Uh-huh.
right now, I don't know if there's cohorts or not. And here was going to be the other thing. I think when you're in a team, people are counting on you to be
Yes.
there, right? So there's
Yes.
some accountability,
Yeah.
some
Right.
a little bit of pressure, a little bit of
Mhm.
I mean, I don't want to say guilt or shame. I don't know what it is, but it feels like accountability for your
Well,
teammates
we'll do
as
things
well as
for other
yourself.
people we won't do for ourselves. If
Yep,
I say I'm going to be at the gym at 7 and I know you're going to be there, I'm showing up. If
yep,
I say it to myself, I'll talk myself out of it.
yep,
Yeah.
yep. That's why I'm leaning toward cohorts. And right now, I'm not showing up at that other organization. Timing,
Right.
haven't figured it out because and I have a platter, right? It's
Uh-huh.
not a plate anymore, it's a platter. So just,
Mhm.
but I'm also not showing up because I don't have to. I'm not accountable, the
Yeah.
timing's not right. Lots of
Mhm.
squirrels.
Mhm. Yeah.
So
Yep.
that's my
Right.
2 cents.
So when we look at the Cove map,
Hmm.
and we have all those places. We have the fireside chat, we have the advanced training, we have all the places to be. Um, and cohorts is the deeper dive. Well, actually, executive coaching is probably the deeper dive, but cohorts is more like that. It's almost like I've got it in stages in my mind, and I don't know how it's communicating. In my mind, I have it. Look, you just got out of the choppy water. You just need to like lay on the dock here and breathe for a minute.
Yep.
Get your
Yep.
bearings. Anything broken? Let's do triage. What do we need? Okay, now. Okay, this is okay. Now I want to go look at this topic or this cohort or this. I want to know what's happening over here in the tide pool. What does that look like? Get your grounding. Unfortunately, that's still a little too nebulous for a new person who only knows that they're drowning, and it's like you can only give one next step. The quiz, the cohort quiz, where do you land, is great for the landing zone, but people's ability to navigate from there, I'm not sure that we've connected the dots nearly as close, or if they're even connectable, if my mind map needs to be adjusted.
Hmm. And if those are communities or spots,
Uh-huh.
are they represented in your navigator?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Because
Right.
how do you get there? I mean, you could take a quiz, but how do you get there?
Right. Yeah. Okay. So there's some clarity I think we're missing in that part. We're going to start driving people to the Cove starting today, all roads, but I'm not going to wait to have everything perfect before we open the doors, because that is
Yeah.
my experience on the internet is that is a great way to never get anything done.
And that paralysis, yes.
Yeah, yeah. So we will do it together. And the rest of that is that the way I work with people, I do this, I can have a scheduled seminar with 150 people, and I come in with my toolbox full of things, but until I find out enough about the audience to know what they need, that's what fuels the content.
Yep.
I feel the same way about the Cove. How do I get enough people in to know what they need to steer that content to meet their needs? It's like you had a burning question and desire that's started about podcasting,
Hmm.
which turned into a whole thing in my brain. And 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 it was really good, and it's helpful and knowledgeable for people who come after, which is good. But until somebody brings their question for a Q&A or a live or something, you know, I'm speaking from a soapbox, and it's difficult to know. So again, back to the question of, do you bring them in 12 at a time so that they're landing, wherever they're landing in the same time space, which gives them cohesiveness, just for the fact
Mm-hmm.
that they're all newbies. So now you've
Mm-hmm.
got cohort one's been around longer than cohort two. Cohort one can start to see if they have leadership interest, right?
Mm-hmm.
Does that make sense?
Yep, that does make sense. And I feel like what like right, what well, I think we probably have a pulse on needs.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, we have to listen to where people are, and I'm sure there will be themes that match what we might already know, but still
Mm-hmm.
keep open-minded.
Mm-hmm.
But Brio just met and we talked about barriers. And people often feel like, and especially white women, and because we live in the United States and we value the shadow side of individualism, there is
Yes.
a shadow side to that.
Right.
And even capitalism plays into that.
Mm-hmm.
Alone. We feel like we're doing this alone.
Yes. Yep.
And or silos.
Right.
And yeah. So
And we want to do it perfectly.
mhm,
So
mhm.
we're so afraid of saying the wrong thing, we don't say anything at all. That's what I see. And that is my biggest, probably, passion is
Yep,
to reconnect the courage with the voice so that something can shift.
yep,
Because without it, nothing changes if nothing changes.
yep. And then for me, I speak for a living, and small groups, large groups, conferences, all that kind of stuff as in I've done. I won't communicate if I'm right angry.
Uh-huh.
So my journey, and for a very, very long time, but I feel like I'm finally getting like the habits and the practices that I need so that I can be effective or calm or tranquil or not triggered. I'm not
Mhm.
avoiding being triggered, but I want to be triggered less.
Yes.
And so that when someone says something that is is inhumane in my
Mhm.
eyes, how do I stay curious? How can I stay out of my amygdala and have a
Mhm.
conversation?
Mhm.
Um, yeah, and I'm okay chatting when I'm or talking when I'm angry or emotional because I can do that,
Mhm.
but am I as effective?
Mhm. It depends
And
on your audience.
yeah,
You know, if I'm talking to people who are not inclined,
mhm,
then uh, then it needs to be head-to-head communication. So there's head-to-head, mouth-to-mouth, just the data, head-to-head, understanding the data, heart-to-heart, why it matters to me. Okay. So mouth-to-mouth is how I always start a seminar. Then we go head-to-head so they understand why it matters, why they should
mhm,
care. And then we move heart-to-heart. If I'm working with women who feel it deeply, but it gets stuck right here because of their
mhm.
conditioning,
Yep, yep,
I need to break all the fucks, all the rules,
yep,
all the everything. And they laugh nervously when I do that, and they breathe more deeply.
mhm, mhm,
So I always say, know your audience. And I used to say that. So know your audience so you don't misstep. And now I say that, know your audience so you know how to really help them be better at what it is they want. And
Hmm.
I run everything through this Justice AI lens because, and in fact, you'll see when I get this 25-page booklet on solopreneur podcasting done, there is a whole section on racial equity in the back because there isn't anything I put out in the world anywhere I touch that isn't going to say, by the way, colorblind is still blind. It's really not helpful. And dear white people, here's why, right?
Hmm. Hmm.
I we did a little clip. Our clips are going way bigger than I ever thought over on YouTube. And one of them was about, it wasn't about colorblind, it was about something else. And boy, people, we had engagement. We had engagement. We had real reaction over it. And it was just everybody's so busy arguing over semantics that they're missing the point.
Yes, yes. Yep. Nikki talks about that too. Absolutely.
Yeah. Yeah. And I rather than me trying to cushion my voice, I just want to say it as clearly and as consistently over as many platforms as I touch. So they're going to be putting me out on more podcasts in the next 3 months where I'll be the guest, not the host.
Wow. Awesome.
A little nerve-wracking, but okay. Because the topic I picked is one that if you bump me, I can go.
Hmm.
I have to have a script to do. But we digress. This is how I have coffee. This is exactly what I do with my husband in the mornings over coffee. He talks to me about basketball I could give two shits about, and I talk to him about One Voice Evolving he could give two shits about. Then we go to the gym. I did find, you were talking about the anger
Hmm.
and the stress level, and you don't speak from anger. And I was on the treadmill yesterday at the gym. Was it yesterday? When some stupid news broke. And I was so grateful to already be into my walk because in real time that energy came in and I could disperse it in
Yes,
the
yes.
same moment. And I thought, oh, note to self, if you're going to look at the news, go do it while you're at the gym, even if it means an hour long. Because boy, I had hills, I had speed, I was
Yeah, yeah, right? It didn't get stuck anywhere. It
It
moved
didn't
right
get
through.
stuck anywhere. And that is, ever since COVID, honestly, that has been the biggest challenge. And don't forget, it's 6 degrees here. It's a sunny, balmy 6 degrees. I'm not going walking. Okay.
Right.
But getting it unstuck. And so I'm still learning. And that in the moment was very helpful. So I'm also sleeping better, not scrolling in bed. So.
Hmm. Hmm.
Those are kind of things. What do you do to manage? What do you do to get off the ledge of your anger?
Well, it does start early in the morning, and I have my coffee already made.
Mhm.
I make my own nut milk.
Oh, yeah.
Um, and then I just have it in the refrigerator the night before, mixed with my coffee. And then I like cuddle with the canines on the couch, which is just so enjoyable. And um, I will listen to calm. So I'll do a breathing meditation for a good 7 minutes or so, and then set some intentions for the day.
Mhm.
I do have cards with that, but sometimes there's some video, the Daily J, that will set some intentions for the day. I'm um I used to work out every day and I don't, so I've got to figure out how to add that back. So I'm starting on that. Then I light a candle. I sit in my massage chair so I get the lymph nodes moving. I have a facial care, facial process, morning routine, night routine. And then then throughout the day, I'm okay. So my practice is I want to, like, what feeling do you want to feel throughout the day, most of the day, right? It doesn't have to be 100%. And that might be joy or peace, or for me, tranquility. And so I'm, there's always a few brain cells on that. So the second I can tell that something's getting whacked, and I'm getting off a piece, off alignment. So I protect that at all costs. I protect my peace at all costs. So if that's, so I'm like, this morning I felt off. I'm like, am I depressed? Is it bipolarism? I don't think I'm bipolar. Is it a cycle? What is it that you need? So I'm asking myself, what is it that you need? Because, prior, I learned from a young person to be very detached from your body. And then so if I need to stand up, stand up. If I need to eat, eat. Before I go into a meeting, I make sure all of my needs are met. Um, and then if I do, you know, um, have issues, I'm I'm trying that practice of just shaking it out, or
Mhm.
jumping jacks or
Mhm.
squats, or
Mhm.
just like get it moved so that I can get back to peace quicker.
Mhm.
I'm Yeah, and then shifting, seeing where the belief system might be, and then shifting that. So,
And you
um,
work.
oh yeah, and I work.
And
Hmm.
parent?
Yes,
Yeah. Okay. All right. So how
and
long does that take?
a Brio leader.
Right. Yeah.
So Donna and I are trying to keep that afloat, do all the behind the scenes stuff, and
Mhm.
trying to build community in my neighborhood.
Mm-hmm.
From barely nothing to a lot in 1 year. We have a lot of community. We have breakfasts,
Oh, wow.
we
Look
have
at
game
you.
night, um, we have a newsletter. So many people are just so appreciative how we have connected,
Uh-huh.
so
Mm-hmm.
which creates safety for me because I'm not necessarily safe with white people because they're the most cruelest people on this planet.
I love that.
Hopefully that answered your question. It might seem basic or minor. Um,
No, it seemed like a lot. I was thinking about, if I was 45 and still had a couple of kids at home, that would sound a little overwhelming to me. But so how long is that all part of your morning routine and the wake up call, or how long does that take you?
I often wake up at 4:30 or 4:44. But
Uh-huh.
I'm usually totally up by 5.
Yeah.
Um, and I think it's kind of funny because I want to add gym to my morning routine. Oh,
Right.
I now can't get up and I want to sleep in until 6:30. Um,
Yeah.
okay.
Yes.
What is happening here? Oh, but you know what I also do? I have a network of friends, international. It's another organization,
Mhm.
but I connect with someone absolutely every morning at 6:45 every
Okay.
morning. So
Yeah.
we move what needs to be moved.
Yes.
We rejoice, celebrate, um, do something that's hard,
Right.
but get attention.
Right.
And sometimes say things that you can't tell anybody else.
Mm-hmm.
So true transparency, trust, but then it's also hold you accountable too. So
Mm-hmm.
like and identifying patterns, as in if you've got some old survival pattern that's working in the present,
Mm-hmm.
you are feeling it to try to release it, or process it to get back to your intelligence, your flexible intelligence. And sometimes you need a mirror or someone to hold you accountable for that.
Oh,
So
yeah.
to help you identify it. Like that is, I didn't get that this morning. So
Mm-hmm.
it feels empty. It's amazing.
Hmm.
If that's one, and I do it at noon as well. And I used to do it in the afternoon because I need,
Okay.
I needed something to stop me from working because work feels enjoyable. Like
Yeah.
it felt like, oh yeah, let me get one more thing done.
Oh,
But I
yeah.
had to have a session with someone, 4 o'clock or 5 o'clock, so that I would get up and get out.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
those are my strategies.
Those are good strategies. I was thinking as you were talking about the times that I have made the most forward momentum in whatever it was, I would have a peer accountability person one time a day, 5 minutes a day.
Yep.
All it takes, 5 minutes a day. What did you say you're going to do? What did you do? Why didn't you do it? What are you going to do differently today? Click, 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 click. And I got books written. I got businesses launched. I got all kind of personal growth, all kind of things. I did that again after Nikki's Rare Woman Collective, and I did that with Holly. She and I did that for 3 months, and our trajectories,
Yes.
right? But it was just from that. So as we open the doors for the Cove and we bring in cohorts, I'm going to make a mental note to make sure that they have the ability to make that 5 minute daily check-in with one another, because that is the fastest way to be seen and authentic and not threatened is one-on-one for a period of time, even if you switch it every 30 days or whatever.
Yep.
And
And
that's awesome.
that other person, we do have some guidelines, right? What
Uh-huh.
stays in that time stays in that time, because
Yep.
once you give out thinking, you might it
Mhm.
might change, right? So you don't reference that thinking or that
Yep.
experience without ever having permission.
Hmm.
And it's not the other person's responsibility for anything. They're
Yeah.
not strategizing, they don't need to solve your problems. It
Hmm.
is just beaming delightful attention
Yes.
in that other person's direction.
Yeah. Absolutely.
So,
I have a question for you. Do you have any 12-step background?
hmm
Okay. So do I. When you're in a meeting and you have the no crosstalk, right?
hmm
It's everybody gets 3 minutes or whatever it is, no crosstalk. My the trouble with 12 step, my take after 30 years of that is is that not having any feedback or any being able to blurt to vent without therapeutic intervention or mirror accountability can harm the listeners or mislead them. And I don't think and it's why I don't believe in leaderless support groups as
hmm
a whole,
hmm
because you don't need therapy, but you need a safe container. And a lot of what 12 step does to make a safe container, and we found that in Brio, works. It holds no matter who the people or what the topic. But some of those practices that are fellowship practices, they're not foundational practices, kind of mirror the culture at large, right?
Yep. Nope. Yep. And I hear you. And does a per it, I what I also see, right or wrong, is people get stagnant because they're reporting.
Yeah,
They're stuck. And they might move, but it
yeah.
is might, like, okay, are you supposed to just let them take
Mhm.
30 years to heal or move?
Mhm.
So
Mhm.
I'm not,
Right.
I think it has its purpose
Yeah.
and might be critical and needed,
Mhm.
but I'm not, I sometimes doubt the growth.
Right. Right. Well, and it's why when I work with people through their 12 steps, they're like, how come I never heard this before? Well, they don't read the book. Let's start there. But second of all, it's because I can take you through your steps in a weekend.
Hmm
And when you go into a meeting and somebody's been there 10 years and they're still on step 3 or they're afraid of step 4 or whatever, it's like y'all aren't helping each other here.
Yep.
No? full acceptance is the answer to all my problems today. That's in the fellowship part of the book. That's not in the program part. And so being a witness to somebody's dysfunction doesn't help them. It helps them know they're not alone. But once you get past that,
Yep.
then there are some, then there's some work to do. All right. So I've got you're not stuck here. You go ahead. I've got office hours for 1 hour and I got 20 minutes left. So I'll think about what else I might want to put out in the world. And thank you so much for your time.
Ditto, ditto.
You. All right.
Glad we're connected.
And me too. Bye.
Peace.